The technique of Rechaka. During the ordinary normal breathing out process, 3 actions occur. First, the abdomen, which might have bulged out during the inhalation, now starts contracting and moving inward. This increases the pressure over the organs inside the abdominal cavity, which in its turn starts pushing the thoracic diaphragm upward towards the cavity of the chest. Simultaneously, chest, which had expanded during the inhalation, starts contracting. The upward movement of the diaphragm and the contraction of the chest leads to increase in the pressure over the air inside the chest cavity, which then starts flowing out through the nostrils. This movement of abdomen, thoracic diaphragm, and the chest would be of different proportion in different people. In the ordinary normal breathing, the process of inhalation is more active and relatively takes longer time, while the process of exhalation is more passive and takes shorter time. In the deep one breathing in all the people, all the 3 actions of exhalation described above take place fully, and the act of exhalation may become as active as the act of inhalation, taking the same amount of time. In the pranayamic Rechaka, the act of exhalation is very much similar to the act of ordinary deep exhalation. It varies only in few aspects. First, the process of exhalation is supposed to be more controlled and is expected to take longer time. Traditionally, the Rechaka phase is supposed to be double in time duration than the Puraka phase. Secondly, the movement of the pelvic diaphragm becomes the additional important part of the technique of Rechaka. At the end of Kumbhaka, one releases the Jalandhara Bandha by straightening the neck and opening the glottis, and then begins the process of exhalation by progressively increasing the contraction of the muscles of the pelvic diaphragm and abdominal wall. This contraction pushes the thoracic diaphragm upward more and more towards the cavity of the chest. The simultaneous contraction of the chest then starts squeezing the air out. The process is kept fully under control, and by regulating the speed of contraction of the various muscles, the rise in the internal pressure is finely regulated, thus ultimately regulating the flow of air itself in a very smooth and complete manner. During the Rechaka, due to contraction of the pelvic diaphragm and abdominal wall, pressure rises up inside the abdominal cavity, and so also in the cavity of the chest. This increased internal pressure and flowing out of the air gives rise to various inner sensations, and during Rechaka one is expected to focus his attention on these sensations. As in Puraka, even in Rechaka this attention to the various internal sensations associated with the gross physical movement of breathing gradually makes one aware of the more subtle sensations arising out of the flow of pranic energy. First, one becomes aware of its flow from the Muladhara to Agya Chakra, connected with the process of exhalation. And then one becomes aware of the flow of prana in other directions too, all over the body, and not specifically and necessarily related to the breathing process of inhalation or exhalation.